All right, folks, we've heard from Jets head coach and Jets general manager, Darren Mougey. They spoke to the media today, and they have revealed what the plan will be for the Jets offseason. They reflect on this absolutely awful season that we just endured as Jets fans. Welcome on in to Jets Media Live. My name is Richie Malora, and I'm excited to give you guys all the latest news you need to know about the New York Jets. So make sure you guys smash the thumbs up button on your way into the show. And without further ado, let's get straight into and hear what head coach Aaron Glenn and what Darren Mougey had to say. Let's jump right into it. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. Welcome on in, everybody, and happy offseason. Happy offseason. So Darren Mougey had this to say. He's very confident entering the offseason. Let's hear from Mr. Darren Mougey.
Season as we go into it. Obviously, the draft capital we have, the cap space, and just being here now a year with AG, working with AG, the staff, getting to learn the staff, getting to learn the players, getting to learn this division. I feel more confident today than ever moving forward with what we have going. I'm excited about the offseason.
Darren Mougey is extremely confident, and you wonder what makes him confident. Well, he did elaborate on it. He absolutely did elaborate on that, which we will talk about right in this live stream. What's good, Richie? First time in chat, man. Truly appreciate you. Well, I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you tuning in. Much appreciated, man. Much appreciated. No roundtable today. There is Fourth and Forever today, but I'm not going to be able to make it because I have something that went on with the family. Everything's all right, but I'm doing this live stream, and then I'm going to have to go and handle that business. But all is good. Now, the interesting thing about what Darren Mougey had to say there is his level of confidence. It makes you wonder what makes him confident, because there's not really a lot to be confident about. And I think what he talked about, which was interesting to me, was it was a level of experience, first year, understanding the vision, believing in this team led by AG. And I think Aaron Glenn continued to hold himself accountable, which is another thing we're going to talk about. All right. So here's another thing about Mr. Darren Mougey talking about the quarterback position. I can tell you this, we'll exhaust every option. Free agency, the league, obviously the draft. We will exhaust that and have a good solution for the New York. Exhaust everything. Everything. That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable, because I think when it comes to the quarterback position, we all understand that there's so many different solutions, so many different options the Jets can go. They can draft either Fernando Mendoza, Dante Moore, Chambliss, or any other quarterback in the draft, or they can go after a veteran in free agency, or they can trade for one, or they can do all the above somehow. So I think that is really interesting. When it comes to this, I also have this to say, and I think a lot of people are not going to really agree with it, but like the last month of the season, like the last 5 games, I know it was historically bad. I don't know, man. I just don't really look at the last 5 weeks as like, I don't know, because maybe I'm just blinded by hope or something. I don't know what the case may be, but the Jets executed a tank job that was ridiculous. And the reason why they committed to it is because Woody Johnson gave Aaron Glenn confidence that you're not going anywhere. Rip this thing to its bones. No matter how bad it is, you're going to be here. And when Aaron Glenn heard that, he was able to just put the product on the field of just all the young guys and shut down the main guys. And now everyone's really not believing in this team because they tanked properly. They got the second overall pick. If they didn't tank properly, like, let me ask you guys, because I'm on record as someone that is never someone that likes to believe in the tank. I'm always someone that says, no matter what happens, it's okay. Like, you want to win, you want to build culture. But what the Jets did objectively is they could have ran with Tyrod for the rest of the season. He wasn't hurt, folks. If he was hurt for a game or two, they could have kept Tyrod out there for the remainder of the season and won another few games and won 5 or 6 games and be picking 9 or 10. But instead, they committed to Brady Cook, and now they got the second overall pick. And the reality is, no Jets fan is going to believe in these two until they start winning. Nobody is going to believe in these two guys Nobody. And I understand if you're a Jets fan, you don't believe in them. Okay? I think that the Jets, they need to figure out a way to overhaul this team, and they have all the resources possible, which is what Darren Mougey and Aaron Glenn also had to say. All right? Look at what Darren Mougey had to say in terms of the assets that they're excited to use in the offseason.
And AG and I, like we said, we talk daily on this roster and vision in this division. And with the assets we have moving forward, the draft capital, the cap space, I know we're going to continue to build and add good players to the team that are going to help us win. And AG and I, like
so what are your guys' thoughts
daily
of
on this
that?
roster
Okay.
and vision in this division. And
let me just replay it.
The assets we have moving forward, the draft capital, the cap space, I know we're going to continue to build and add good players to the team that are going to help us win. And AG and I.
So I think that the belief in each other and understanding that they have all the resources, the cap space, and you can have the resources, but you cannot execute the plan properly. And I think that they have a clear vision, but is their vision going to work out? Here's Aaron Glenn about the clear vision that they have.
There's a clear vision. There's a clear plan on how we want to go about doing things. And you match that with Mougey, with our owner, the confidence I have myself with some of the foundational players that we have. That in itself, to me, gives like all the confidence in the world, man, that we're going to go in the right direction. Now, there's some things we got to fix. Absolutely. We know that. And we'll fix those. We'll attack those the way we have to. But
so understanding that they do have a vision and they do have a solid foundation. And listen, these are all words. We're really just talking about coach speak and GM speak. It's like actions speak louder than words. No one really wants to hear this stuff, but this is the first time we hear from Darren Mougey since the trade deadline. So we're going to have to talk about it. And I think that the plan that is being revealed from these guys is a very interesting one. Anyone you particularly want at number 2, in my opinion, the Jets should skip quarterback or address it in free agent if possible. Bring in Mougey or Willis and build a roster. Voss Boss with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. I do appreciate what you had to say here. I think that, there's a lot of different scenarios that the Jets can go about when it comes to the Jets' second overall pick. We're going to have, and that's what he said at the top of this press conference, that they're going to exhaust every single possibility. There's a world where they skip out on the quarterback at number 2 and they draft a different player. They trade back and do all these things. So I appreciate the $5 super chat from Voss Boss. Much love and much appreciated to you, brother. I really do appreciate it. Now, Aaron Glenn had a message to the fans, and I'm curious to get your guys' opinion on what he had to say about this.
Our fans, listen, again, there's a vision that we have, and there's a trust that we have in that also. And I expect and I will want our fans to have a total trust in us and being able to do that. And we have to earn that too. And our plan is to do that. And we don't expect to have another season like this here. So we're looking forward to this offseason. Looking forward to getting to work and using the draft capital that we have and the money we have in free agency to continue to build what we've been trying to build for our fans.
So, it's what he said there that I'd like the most was we have to earn that trust, because he's asking for us to trust in the vision. But from a fan's perspective, there is literally no reason for us to believe. It needs to be earned, because right now it's blind trust. And I get that. I'm someone that does not want to let go of the rope. I'm someone that wants to give them their opportunity. I'm in the very big minority. And if you're a Jets fan that wants Aaron Glenn fired after his first season, I'm not going to debate you, because there's a lot of reasons why he should be fired. I also think there's some reasons why you should give him a chance to build the team his way, because I think it's unfair to expect someone to succeed at a high level in year number 1 with this team and this roster. So I think that him asking us to believe in the vision, not every fan's going to take that, because there really is no evidence. Why would a Jets fan believe in what Aaron Glenn and Darren Mougey has to say if they have given us no reason to believe yet? This fan base is about going in there and completely orchestrating legit, action. Go out there on the field, do something before we believe in anything. That's how you got to look at it. Now, here is Darren Mougey on Breece Hall, who's a pending free agent.
Brees is a good player. I want as many good players back as we can. Like I mentioned, I met with probably 50 players yesterday. I met with Brees yesterday. Had a lot of good conversations.
So another thing about Darren Mougey, he did say that he met with Brees Hall. He's meeting with every single player on the roster. He's meeting with every single coach on the staff. He's meeting with the scouting department. This is the evaluation process. And the big question is, are the New York Jets going to bring back Brees Hall? That's a big question. I'm not too sure. What do you guys think? Will Darren Mougey, will Aaron Glenn figure out a way to bring back Brees Hall on a contract extension? They could franchise tag him, which I think is the most likely scenario, in my opinion. Because if you look at it from this perspective, Brees Hall is a good football player. And if you get rid of him and you let him walk, then you're losing out on talent. There's not a lot of talent the Jets have on offense. There's not. And if you get rid of Brees, then you're going backwards unless you draft a running back early in the draft, or you hit a home run on a running back late in the draft, or you sign a veteran in free agency at running back, because you're basically having a regression if you do not bring in a running back. So I hope the Jets bring back Brees. I really, really do. I think most Jets fans feel that way as well, and I think the staff is going to prioritize that. Now, here is Darren Mougey on the offensive personnel, what he feels about this offense moving forward.
I feel good. I feel good about the offensive line. I think that's the strength of ours. It's a young group. I think with continuity in the group, they'll only continue to get better. I think we got a young tight end. I think we got a good tight end room. Obviously, we got Garrett. We had Brees. Got a good stable back. So I feel good about the offensive support on that side of the ball.
So he mentions Brees there. So that makes you wonder, is he part of the offseason plan to bring him back? I would assume so. Now, he brings up the offensive line as a strength. It is. And I think that just because the offensive line is not top 3 doesn't mean it's not a strength. If you look at the context of the roster as a whole, it is one of the strengths. And that also shows you that this team is that bad, because it's not like the offensive line is elite. I will put the offensive line in the good category, with room to become elite, with continuity and development, with Armand Membu, with Olu Fashanu. But the best part about the offensive line, in my opinion, is the health. We had a full season of a healthy offensive line minus AVT going down before the season started. All 5 offensive linemen started every single game. That's massive. I hope that trend continues. We need Membu healthy. We need Fashanu healthy, because the fact that those bookend tackles, and Membu is an absolute stud. Can we just not let that gloss over that the Jets have a legit offensive line? We don't need to go into the draft and draft a tackle for a while, folks. For a while. We don't need to draft a tackle, which is going to give the Jets a lot more wiggle room to execute in other areas, which I'm excited about. Which I'm absolutely excited about, by the way. Now let's see what Darren Mougey's approach is going to be in the offseason.
I think everyone wants to be aggressive but calculated with how they attack off seasons, whether that's free agency and the draft, and just knowing your team, knowing your division and what you need. You can say it's an aggressive approach, but it really needs to be a very calculated approach, knowing your resources, your draft resources, your cap, your future cap, and what that might look like. So, we're always going to look to add and kind of know where we might be deficient and where we might need to really add power to compete in the division.
They also mentioned the division, which I like, that they're obviously taking a deep dive into how to be competitive in the division. The Jets did not win a single division game this year, swept by all 3 teams, which is absolutely pathetic. And they have to figure out a way to clean that up more specifically. And I think that the notion that he said that the Jets are going to be not just aggressive in the offseason, but calculated. That's true, because you got to look at it from a big picture. You can't just be like, ooh, we got $100 million. Let's just sign everybody and forget about the future. Like, they got to have a calculated approach, understand it. And, the one thing I will say about the Mougey and Glenn combination, I think Mougey has given me more hopeful energy than Glenn, from the trades of Harrison Phillips and Jawan Briggs to the trades of Sauce and Quinnen, getting all these assets. The fact that they have all the resources at their disposal, it does get me some excitement. And I think Darren Mougey, he was part of the Denver Broncos organization when they drafted Bo Nix. You look at the Broncos, the first seed in the AFC. So let's see if that's going to hopefully work in our favor. Folks, if you're just tuning into the show, do me a favor, smash the thumbs up button as Aaron Glenn and Darren Mougey speaks to the media today as they reveal the plan for the offseason. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button if you did not already on your way in. We're going to keep the brand and the line going. Here's more from Glenn.
I put a lot of it on me as far as just the wins and losses. You know, and I would really say it like that. I put a lot of it on me on the wins and losses, and I have to do a better job. And I'm not going to sit here and blame it on the roster. I'm not going to sit here and blame it on the coaching staff. I'm going to blame it on the guy that's sitting right in front of you, and I got to do a better job. And I'm always say that, you know, and until I get the whole situation situated, then we'll be better, which I know we will next year. I put a lot of it on.
So I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely love how Aaron Glenn is approaching this season from an accountability perspective, because it could be a different world. Imagine he was like, yeah, I didn't do anything wrong. It was all like, I don't know. I think there could be a way worse scenario for the Jets, how they're operating this, but they're not. And I think Aaron Glenn taking accountability, not blaming his coaching staff, not blaming the players, but putting it on him. And he understands that he needs to be better. Everybody understands that. Accountability is where it all starts. It all begins there. And I think that Aaron Glenn taking this season on the chest, it really goes to show you the type of man that he is. And he's a rookie head coach, just like, you know, rookie quarterbacks go out there and struggle. We've seen rookie QBs go out there in year one, struggle, and all of a sudden thrive in year 2 and 3. We've seen rookie coaches in year 1 struggle and thrive in year 2 and 3. Obviously, there are scenarios where rookie quarterbacks and rookie coaches thrive in year 1, just like Ben Johnson and just like Liam Cohen. But I'm going to consistently say that, hey, bro, those guys got quarterbacks. The Jets don't. I feel like if Aaron Glenn went to those teams, I don't know. That'll be a different scenario, of course. But I think that hearing Aaron Glenn take accountability is definitely something I absolutely adore and appreciate from Aaron Glenn, because him putting it all on him goes to show you the type of man that he is and the type of leader that he is. And I think that the players in the locker room gravitates towards that. And the fact that they understand that they have to earn the trust is important. Now, this is Aaron Glenn reflecting on what it was like being a rookie head coach and what he can learn from into his second season of being a head coach.
A rookie head coach and same thing as a GM, man, going through the first year and really understanding the landscape of everything, like that's a huge deal. You know, I will tell you that right now. And speaking of myself, man, there's a number of things I know that I'll be better at. And again, I'm still doing self-reflection, but I know for a fact there are a number of things, and the confidence that I have in Mougey, the confidence I have in our owner, the confidence I have in myself, the confidence I have in some of the foundational players that we have, that's where the confidence really comes from, you know, if that makes sense. And there's a clear vision. There's a clear plan on how we want to go about doing things. And you match that with Mougey, with our owner, the confidence I have in myself with some of the foundational players that we have, that in itself to me gives like all the confidence in the world, man, that we're going to go in the right direction. Now, there's some things we got to fix. Absolutely. We know that. And we'll fix those, we'll attack those the way we have to. But overall, man, I have all the confidence in the world that we're going to do the things we have to do to be successful.
So the fact that he reflects on being a rookie head coach and taking accountability and understanding that there's a lot of things that he's learned in year 1, that he is not going to make the same mistakes in year 2. And I think that, you know, learning on the job is valuable. And I think that going into year 2, it's going to be interesting to see how Aaron Glenn looks in year 2 instead of year 1. And they're not expecting to be where they were this season next year. And I think that's exactly something that I wanted to talk about as well, that the Jets are saying the GM and the head coach are basically saying that they don't expect to have a season like this again, because they know if they have a season again like they just had, they're both gone. So here's them talking about being competitive next year.
How long do you think it will take to be competitive, to be respectable?
I believe we can be competitive and respectable right away next year.
What gives you that? You said, what gives you that confidence? You said earlier that you're the most confident. You know, you have more confidence now than ever. What gives you the confidence?
Because I've been here a year. I've learned a lot. We've learned a lot. I've got a clear vision. AG and I, like we said, we talk daily on this roster and the vision and this division. And with the assets we have moving forward, the draft capital, the cap space, I know we're going to continue to build and add good players as a team that are going to help us win.
How long do you think?
I mean, I'd love to hear it, and I want to believe in it. But at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, I mean, we heard Aaron Glenn say heading into this season that we're here to win now, and then it turned into a 3-win season. So it's like, it's hard to really take what they're saying and be like, yeah, we're going to be good next year. It's hard to feel that way. But I like the confidence and I like the belief, and it starts there. Like, if they genuinely did not have any confidence in what they're doing, then they should be fired. Like, they need to have a strong belief in the vision and commit to it and not run away from it in order for it to thrive. And I'm rooting for them, man. I don't know about you guys, but I am rooting for Aaron Glenn and Darren Mougey to figure it out, which is why I personally don't feel like harping on them getting fired matters, because they're not. They're not getting fired. So why waste my energy on that if they're not? That's not the case. We knew that months ago, so I'm not going to waste my time and energy on something that's not happening. So I'm going to shift my focus on what their vision is, how it could work out, because I think that there is a chance it does. There's also a larger chance it not working. I think it'll be like, if I had to put a probability on it, there's a 75% chance, and history will say that Aaron Glenn and Darren Mougey are not going to succeed here and get fired, and maybe a 25% chance of them working out and getting a second contract and being the coach and the GM for the future. And the way that they do that is by going to the playoffs eventually. Maybe it's 80%, 20%, maybe 90%, 10%. But the fact is the facts. The Jets historically are bad. We need to wipe the stain off the history books, and the way you do that is you dig deep into the core of this roster. You add people that fit your vision, and you thrive, man. You got to get a real quarterback, man. All starts with the quarterback position. It'll always start and end there. Always. Without a quarterback, we're nothing. We're absolutely nothing, man. That's something that I'm going to keep saying. J-Boy with a super chat. When the rest of the East is dancing, you effed up. Yeah. We gotta, listen. The Jets went 0-6 in the division. Everybody understands that. The Jets went 0-6 in the division. Nobody is running away from that truth. That's the reality of it. No one's denying that. But they got to figure it out. Let's go. Troll Rich says, we are all rooting for the team, Richie, but I'm not rooting for Glenn. It's almost insanity. We didn't even win one division game, not one. That's downright embarrassing. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's obviously embarrassing. But my question is, if you're a Jets fan and you're rooting for the team, you have to root for Aaron Glenn. Unless you just want him to fail. I don't understand. It's embarrassing. Not winning a division game is embarrassing. That's a fact. I agree. But if you're a Jets fan and you're rooting against Glenn, why? He's the Jets head coach. He wanted to take this job. He wanted to embrace the challenge. That I don't understand. How do you feel about Kyler Murray? I personally don't think he's all that good, but at the same time, probably better than anything we've seen in a long time. Yeah, that's the problem. It's like, yeah, I mean, Kyler will probably be better than any quarterback we've had in a long time, but he's also not any good in order to get us to the promised land. I think that Kyler Murray would be a decent bridge quarterback, not a franchise quarterback. Big difference. I believe in Mougey. Unfortunately, he is tasked with masking the incompetence of the head coach. He has to build a team that can hide AG's lack of coaching. Yeah, I think that we can also see a roster that's overhauled and a quarterback that's good, and everything can change as well. Glenn isn't going anywhere, so Richie is embracing him. Understandably so. It's that simple. That's all I'm doing. Right? It's not rocket science of what I'm doing. I'm not blindly believing in Aaron Glenn, but I'm embracing him as our head coach. I'm a Jets fan. I root for the Jets. The Jets are employing Aaron Glenn as the head coach. I want him to be the guy. And I'm going to figure out what the vision is. And I'm going to make the content in order to align with the vision. I'm going to call out the hypocrisy. I'm going to call out the flaws. I'm going to bring to the surface what Aaron Glenn needs to improve on, what he was bad at, what he was also good at. Like, there's a lot of things that needs to get figured out with this organization before anybody believes in Aaron Glenn. If you're a Jets fan, you have no reason to believe Aaron Glenn knows what he's doing. He's the one that needs to prove it to us by going into next year and start winning. There's nothing we can do as fans. It's totally out of our control. But I feel like, you know what? I had an epiphany, actually, about what my channel represents, what Jets media is. You know what that was? I feel like my channel is about how, and I even realized I do this. I do this kind of just like on accident, and I'm kind of realizing what I do, and I'm curious from your guys' perspective if you know what I'm about to say, if it relates to you. I have a different approach to being a Jets fan than I think most people do in terms of how to handle the incompetence and the dysfunction of being a Jets fan. It's not fun being a Jets fan. We all can understand and relate to that. It's embarrassing. But I think that the way I approach the losing and the pain and the misery and the way I articulate it to you guys, it's just how to get through this in a clear way. Because there's a way of being insufferable and just living in the misery and just letting that be the identity of who you are as a person. And I'm just never been that way at my core. Like, take the Jets content creation and being a Jets fan aside for a second. Like, me, who I am as a person, I've always been someone that loves life, someone that loves waking up every day, embraces challenges, that looks at the, positive side of things, and not just Jets football. I'm talking about life in general. And I feel like I bring that into my content creation and my coverage of this football team as much as I possibly can. Because I feel like Jets fans, we've been through so much misery that sometimes there has to be a line of figuring out a way and believing in order for it to get it worked out. And I'm trying my best to hold myself accountable. I'm not perfect, man. I don't say everything that you guys agree with, and I understand that. I don't say things here. I don't turn this microphone on and this camera on and go live on YouTube to say things so everybody can agree with me. If I did that, then I wouldn't be where I am. Like, I don't make content so I can have everybody agree with me. And I don't think anybody should. If you ever get into content creation or want to be a figure in the sports media space, understand, first and foremost, you're going to have a lot of people disagree with you. Also, a lot of people that do not like you, a lot of people that hate you and try to bring you down. That comes with the job. And I embrace that. And that's been the way since I started this thing. It's not a new thing that I'm starting to figure out. No, I'm used to that. I embrace all the challenges. I embrace adversity. And I feel like my perspective of covering this team is in, I guess, a unique way. So I just try my best to keep myself level-headed. And I got to say, man, people joke around, and some people don't know this about me. I actually have a separate life outside of Jets content creation. And what I am, if you guys don't know, is I'm actually a yoga teacher. And that may shock some other people. Some people know this about me. Some people don't. And the only reason why I bring that up is because my lifestyle in yoga, I practice meditation every day. I do breath work. Without my meditation and yoga practice, I don't know how I can handle being a Jets fan or a Jets creator. That grounds me. That keeps me level-headed, because if I'm all soaked in the misery in the external world, I like going deep within myself, being emotionally intelligent, reflecting on how I feel, becoming, aware of where my thoughts are going. I'm very passionate about that type of stuff, and really, allowing other people besides myself to find that inner peace within themselves, guiding them on their own journeys, digging deep into your own self, connecting to your mind, connecting to your body, all those things. And I think that balance that I have is unique, I'm realizing. So I just wanted to say that because, some people wonder how I'm able to do this. A lot of people in my personal life are like, dude, how do you possibly cover the Jets every day? That's a miserable job. And I say, man, first of all, it's the people, it's the chat, it's you guys in the chat watching, it's the community is the number one thing. I mean, without the support and the community, there is nothing. There is no if it's a collective. Like, I don't feel like I do this alone. I feel like we're all in this together. So that's really what I'm talking about. So that's just a quick little update into the life of my personal world, in case anybody was wondering. I love how Coach Glenn handled the season, taking accountability on going 3-14. Question: if Moore goes back to school, would you trade back with Rams? Yeah, I think there's a world the Jets trade back. I'm hoping Dante Moore stays. Does not stay. I want him in college to win the national title, go to the NFL draft. We need him to declare. We need him to declare, folks. Jets Indy with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you. Thank you so much. Tough choice, but if we should have taken a 4th for Brees, I just don't think he wants to be here anymore. If we pay him, he has a lot of miles on him. Yeah, he does have a lot of miles on him, but he's also 24 years old. He's extremely young still. He's got a lot of room. Okay? I really, really am excited to see if the Jets bring back Brees Hall or not. I think that it's going to be interesting to see if the Jets bring him back. But thank you for the $5 super chat, my brother. Much appreciated to you. Want to give a big shout out to Sleeper, who is a proud sponsor of Jets Media all throughout the season. Get a 100% deposit match up to $100 by using the code JETS. That is code JETS. We're really excited to be partnered up with Sleeper all throughout the season. If you guys want to check them out, that link is at the top of the chat. Don't forget to use the code to get a 100% deposit match. You guys can bet more or less on all your favorite players across the NFL entering the wildcard weekend. A lot of interesting matchups this weekend that we're excited to talk about on 4th and Forever and all the Roundtable Sports shows. All right, I got to run, guys. Something happened personally. The reason why I'm not on 4th and Forever, because I'm ending this stream right now. Everything's okay, but my dad just got back surgery, so he's in New York City right now. So I got to go into the city right now and pick him up and drive him home. And I'm going to be with him this week to help him recover. It's okay. It's just, fixing his back because he's had a lot of back problems. So it's nothing serious, luckily. But that's why I'm not on 4th and Forever. I'm ending this stream and heading into the city right now. But yeah, that's what I'm up to personally. So I'm going to end the stream here. Thank you guys so much. I love you all. Let's go Jets. Keep the vibes up, and blessings to all in the chat. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Salute to the chat. I love you all. Let's go Jets. And a big peace out. Thank you for all the blessings to my dad for the speedy recovery. He's going to be fine. It's just his back surgery. My mom actually texted me, and he already is in recovery, and things are looking great already. So he's already on the path of recovery. So I love you guys. I'm out of here, folks. I'll see you soon. We got a video uploading later in the day about Raheem Morris. Stay tuned for that. And then we have a content coming tomorrow on the channel about the draft.